Starting it now. So, let's see, let me get my webcam on too. If it's gonna work. There we go. Okay. So, we left off kind of leaving the island. And at the moment, you're just at the helm of the ship, Azura. Um, and you've basically just started making your way home, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's two dead bodies on the ship right now, and that is you're having a lot of trouble processing the amount of grief that you just went through, and the rainstorm in the background is making it hard to really. I don't know, it's making it hard to talk to each other or anything or kind of comfort each other very much at all, just because it's cold and wet and loud.
Mhm.
Um, and in your head, you hear the voice of three again. And it says, "Do I have your permission to warp you again, to explain a bit?"
I, I guess I don't.
And then
Mm,
you feel yourself start to, pass out. You kind of enter the void again, and you're standing right in front of three. And it's the saddest. I mean, you can't really see any emotion on three's face, but you get a feeling that they are distraught as well. And standing next to you in the same kind of void space is Nuriel as well. And you see standing in front of them is Seven, the one skeleton that introduced itself as Seven. And three says, "Azura, I am profoundly sorry for all that has happened, for all that will happen, but specifically for this. There's no amount of goodness that makes this right. And I realize that. And I also realize that you pretty much have just trusted me this entire way, and I realize now that it feels like a blind faith at this point. It feels like I don't know exactly how to explain it to you, but I need you to continue trusting me. And if there's anything I can do to help that, to ease that for you, let me know, and I'll let you know if it's within my power to do."
okay, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to think anymore right now.
I realize that, and I would not have had this happen if it not. It's necessary. I. It doesn't. It's awful, but it was a necessary thing that had to happen. These deaths. It makes this work. It makes us able to progress. It's one of those things I couldn't tell you about. Um,
If this is necessary, then what else is necessary?
a lot.
I don't know if I can keep
A
doing
lot,
this if
Azura,
it's
and it's not fair what I'm asking you, and it's not fair what I'm going to ask the other virtues either. Or what it's it's not great, but it is our only way out of this mess. And by us, I mean the entire human race, really.
Mhm.
Um, I have something that I think might ease your pain a little bit. Um, I have a specific vision I can give to you. I don't know exactly the effect it'll have on you, but it might help. It's about Remy.
Okay. Um,
And it feels like you start to fall. You basically fall through the floor of the void. and you land kind of in the center of the town square of Lynn. But it's a different Lynn than you really know. It's not snowing. It's a bright and sunny day out, and you're holding a basket of what appears to be just, groceries. Appears to be a couple different food items and just a couple of things. And in your head, um, you realize that you had just been pretty much just shopping.
Jeez, okay, I got warped back in time. Where am I in Lynn? Am I just like in the center of town?
Yeah, roughly from this in the center of town, kind of like, let's see, just a little bit past the docks, kind of next to the fish and chop house and the Seabound Goblin right now.
Here, let me pull up the map real quick.
Yeah, I
of
had to do
Lynn.
that too.
I don't have any of that pulled up. I probably should.
You're good. I should have your character sheet pulled up.
Do I have the map of Lynn saved? I don't think I. Oh,
I think it's pinned in Tendrils of the Mind if you don't have it.
no, I found it.
Nice.
Okay. Um, I'm just gonna rush towards my lighthouse.
Okay.
Basically, just run through the docks as fast as I can.
As you make your way across the docks, you see a lot of unfamiliar faces. Like a lot of the people at the docks you had known, you know, because they've worked with Dare, and I mean, what's his name, Grant, and he's not there this time. There's some other kind of guy directing work this time. And as you make your way towards the lighthouse, you see the complete absence of that ship that is usually crashed up on the rocks right next to your lighthouse. It's not there. It's gone. The rocks are like pretty much undamaged. And right next to your lighthouse, there's this tiny little cabin, this cozy little cabin. And as you feel yourself moving, like you feel yourself wanting to go towards the lighthouse because that's what you know as kind of your home, but it's like a memory is playing. And instead of your body doing what you're telling it to do, you start heading for the little cabin instead. And as you walk inside the cabin, you just kind of open the door. There's a little bell on it that makes it a pleasant sound. As you enter, you can see Remy sitting on a chair at a table, and he's just he's eating a little bit of food, and he's just waiting for you. And as he sees you enter, he gets up from the table and gives you a big hug and says, "Welcome home." And as you feel yourself, you try to speak, you try to actually, get a thought forward, and instead your memory self says something instead, and it says, "Hi, I've just been out to get groceries. I hope this is good enough for tonight. It's so good to see you, though." And you realize that you've lived this before. You've lived this exact memory. It's something that has happened to you, but that has been gone for quite some time. It's like trying to remember a childhood memory from when you were really young, except it's actually coming back a little bit clearer now. And after that, you basically just have a really nice dinner with Remy. And about an hour after dinner, Phoenix comes over, and you guys end up playing a small little board game in the kitchen, and it's just a really lovely night. And the next morning, something feels off. You feel as though you haven't really lived that day. It feels weird because you're in a memory, technically. And as you look out the window after you first got up, in the sky you can see darkness. Like specific shadowy tendrils of darkness crossing across the sky. And it's spreading and morphing, and it's kind of morphing the sky into this unearthly portal. And it's very disconcerting to say the least.
Yeah. Um. Is Remy or Phoenix still around?
You get the sense that both of them are sleeping right
Okay. I'm gonna step outside,
now. Okay.
and then can I roll a perception just to
Mhm.
look around and see more if I can see anything else?
Sure.
That's a 10 plus 7, 17.
Nice. Okay, so as you look into the sky, you kind of get a feel that it is alter energy. Like you get a feel that is exactly like coming from the altar plane. Like that's a definite portal to the altar plane opening up in the sky.
Mhm.
And you feel some other kind of surge of energy as well. It's almost like what you feel like whenever you use any sort of your virtue abilities. It feels you can feel that energy, but it's not coming from you, it's coming from somewhere off in the distance.
Can I kind of like pinpoint the location enough to head in that direction?
Um, let me think here. Sure. Yeah. So you pinpoint the energy or whatever it is as coming from a little ways outside of Lynn. It feels like it's coming sort of from probably around Blackaway Gulch, kind of next to Starfell.
Okay, it's a bit away.
Yeah, it's a ways away, but you definitely get a feeling that it's there. Um, and as you are stepping out of the house, as you're just kind of standing there, perceiving, you see up in the sky creatures start just pouring out of it. You can recognize batlings and Assueris specifically.
Oh god. And are they heading towards Lynn, I'm guessing?
They are heading towards Blackaway Gulch, actually.
Um, I'm gonna turn back into the cabin and wake up Phoenix and Remy.
Okay. As you do, you walk into their rooms, and it's weird. You had an order that you were going to wake them up in. You were going to wake up Phoenix first, and then you were going to wake up Remy. But since it's a memory, what actually happens is you end up waking up Remy first, which it's just strange having your body do something different than what you planned it to do. Um, but you wake them up, and they both seem like they get why. You tell them to look out the window, and they seem very distraught at this, and just they don't know what to do either. Have you ever seen anything like this, Sarah?
I um I've seen a few things like this. I I feel like we should head towards it. We don't know what it could be doing, but I mean there could be people in danger back there.
Hmm. I I suppose. Oh, surely there are heroes working on it, right? I mean, we're just townspeople.
I don't I don't know if there are. I mean, I don't think anything like this has ever shown up in Vistronus. I feel like I don't really know if there'd be any heroes who would know what to do.
I suppose you're
Really,
right.
anybody.
I guess we should check it out then. Azur, I'm worried about this. This doesn't feel right. I don't feel in my natural state of mind.
I I don't either. To be honest.
And you both step outside, and Phoenix does too. And as you do, another inky tendril shoots out of the sky and towards you, and basically obliterates the house that you were just standing in, and starts spreading this black glass across where the house used to be, across the ground.
Oh my god, oh god. I'm guessing I can't attack the tendril at all.
No, it's just kind of
Also, it's like,
intangible, like smoke, pretty much.
yeah. Um, I don't think of anything I can do.
As you are standing there thinking as well, from that tendril outsteps an Assuerus. And you can see it's not as tall as the one you had recently fought. It's only about probably 6'5", but you can see it's having trouble like folding its wings back into place, and you didn't even know they had wings before. But on its back are these bug-like, almost kind of cicada wings, and it turns towards you guys. And
Time to roll initiative.
yeah, let's roll initiative.
Oh, it's dropped my dice. Okay, that's a 15.
All right, let me see. Let's roll for it. Need to find its character sheet. All right, it got what would be a 5 for initiative. So you're gonna go first.
What weapons would I have on me at this point?
You don't really know. As you get prepared, you don't have your staff on you. It was in the house, you realize. But you pull out 2 daggers, but they're not the daggers that you're used to using. They're not the sparklers. They're just kind of common daggers.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll for Remy as well. You got a 7, so you, Remy, on this words. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna go to hit twice. I'm gonna chuck one dagger and then kind of rush at it with another one.
Okay.
That's a 22.
Yeah, that's gonna hit, I think.
One. The throw, and then that's a 20.
All right.
Right? Yeah, 20.
Yep.
For the dash towards. Okay. It's a d6. That would be 4 damage from the thrown dagger.
Okay.
And then 5 damage when I rush forward. And when I rush forward, I'm gonna spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
Let me roll that. That's a 24 and a 8.
Dang. So 8 damage from that then?
No, those were just
Oh yeah, 2 separate ones, right. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then that'll be 6 for damage.
So the 8 won't hit, but the 24 will, so 8.
Yeah, and it's 8 damage from the 24.
Okay, perfect. As you do this, you see that Memory You kind of takes a different approach. Like you feel yourself wanting to do those actions, but your memory self's body lashes out in kind of different ways. I mean, you still charge with your daggers, but your memory self does this sweeping kick, and it's actually really impressive and knocks the Assuerus off its feet. And Remy, let's see how he does. Oh, good rolls. And he pulls out a small short sword and charges it while it's on the ground. Is 10 points of damage. Very good. And you basically see him just like charge up to it and plunge the sword just like into it as it's just lying there. That's its turn. So let's see. It's going to first it gets up and it's going to go ahead and charge you, Zara. And the whole time, like after it was stabbed, it just starts cackling. It just starts laughing at the fact that it's being attacked at all. That is going to be a 14.
That hits.
All right. And let's see how much damage that's going to be. That is 14 points of damage. We're going to use like your base character sheet for help.
My like level 1 or just my
Just whatever you're using right now. Yeah, just right
Oh.
now. It's good enough for the health. All right. And it'll be your turn.
Okay. Phoenix isn't attacking?
Oh yeah, he probably should too. I'll just put it on the bottom. Phoenix is also going to use a short sword. $18. That's going to be 6 points of damage. All right, now your turn.
Okay. Alright, that'll be a 16
That hits.
and a 15. Sorry.
All right. The 15 does not hit.
Okay. I'm gonna just roll that. That'll be 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage.
Nice.
And then I'm also going to use my bonus action to go with an unarmed strike,
Okay.
which will be a 20
That hits.
hit
Definitely.
and 9 damage.
All right. And all right, it's gonna be Remy's turn now. 13. That's gonna hit. Or not a 13, but he has bonus. That's going to be 6 points of damage as well. And the Asuerus turns towards you again. And this time it basically takes like this, it like flies up into the air and then tries to strike you as it like falls out of the sky.
Interesting attack.
That's going to be 14 again. That's still. That is 21 points of damage.
Okay.
And let's go to Phoenix. And what Phoenix does is he basically tries to throw himself in front of you as the Asuerus starts to attack, but he doesn't really manage to get in the way of it quite in time. But you, go ahead and take 5 damage off of that as he kind of shields you.
Oh, instead of the 21?
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh. 21 and then take 5.
He's going to attack as well. Nice. That's going to be another 6 points. They keep rolling bad. And then, as you're fighting, you see 5 more shadowy tendrils strike down from the sky, and 5 more Asuerus start to swarm you. And at this point, the memory is getting really, really fuzzy, and it becomes harder and harder to consciously do things. You still are fighting the one Asuerus for a while, but eventually it gets to the point where it's too much. Like, you can't even like process what you're doing properly, and the memory cuts off right as you feel yourself die in some way. The details of your death are, you can't really make them out, but you feel yourself die and you feel yourself rising back up into the void, and you're standing next to 3 again. I hope that helped.
Helped that. What was that?
It's it's technically for you
Kevin,
the past.
that was the past? I don't.
Technically, yes. I can't
What do you mean by
really
technically?
I can't really explain it exactly, but I there's a chance. There's a chance for this all to be better. Um this reality is kind of our last chance at stopping Torin. But it's not to say we haven't tried, if that makes sense. Um, but there's a chance that we can go back to something better. And that's really what I
Like,
wanted to show you. There's a chance you can be with Remy in the end.
how do I know I can believe that if I just basically watch myself die again?
That's
I don't understand any of this. Are you trying to tell me that there's like different timelines or realities where we've lived through this?
I can't really confirm or deny that, but sort of. I At the end of this, I'll explain as much as I can to you. I promise. But for now, I need you to help Nuriel. I need you to guide Nuriel. If
Don't even.
you've been a virtue longer than they have, and they don't show it, but they're really quite troubled. And I'm going to make it so you can see what they're going through right now. I gave them a sort of vision as well. Is that okay with you?
I guess I don't.
I know this is all really confusing, and I don't think it's gonna get much better anytime soon. You're both very blessed and really cursed at the same time.
So far, I haven't seen the blessed part at all.
I know,
I don't.
I know. It's mainly cursed so far, yes, but the blessed part will come later. And you feel yourself kind of vanishing again, kind of falling. But this time, you don't really inhabit a body, you're just kind of above watching Nuriel at this point. But it doesn't look exactly as Nuriel does now. It looks more like, well, they look like a dark elf instead of a changeling. And they're standing in front of this other person who is definitely a changeling, and they're standing in this kind of grandiose room with a bunch of other changelings, and the one is on the throne talking to him, and they say, I need you to take care of the target for me. Can you do that? And Nuriel, or what appears to be Nuriel, the kind of character that your conscience is centered on, says, Das Vitae, yes, and leaves. And you see them walk away and walk towards what appears to be a carriage. And they get in, and over a long carriage ride, they make their way towards a different town. You don't really know the town specifically. And As they get out of the carriage, you can see they parked in front of this kind of arena area. And you can see them start to kind of steel themselves as if they, as if they're getting ready to kill. And right before they enter the arena, they turn themselves invisible somehow and walk in, and you see them charge what you know to be Ghost. But in the arena, it's Ghost, but like Ghost with legs and whole and doesn't look dead. And Nuriel charges at them and stabs them with this vicious looking sword, and then leaves after briefly uncloaking and showing themselves to Ghost. After that, you can see Ghost die, and you see Nuriel walk away, and they're crying. They are having just a terrible time dealing with what they did. And then it's the next day, and they're standing in front of that same changeling again. And they say, "Can you take out the target?" And Nuriel says, "Das Vite." Yes. And leaves. And this process repeats itself day after day after day, and Nuriel seems a little bit worse for wear after every single kill. And they don't look good, and eventually they don't come back. They don't come back for another job. And after that point, the vision kind of fades, and you're standing in front of Nuriel and 7 and 3 again. And Nuriel says, "So, Azura was with me that whole time then?" Yes. Yes, she was. I made sure she could see that vision as well.
I'm gonna completely ignore Nuriel and turn towards 3.
Okay.
You want me to help him after you just showed me that?
Azura, it's not his fault. It's really not their fault at all. I can kind of explain. Nuriel wasn't always Nuriel as you know them. Nuriel has had a lot of dealings with the True Dark Bandits that have not been visible to you as much. And there's a bit of brainwashing and things that have gone into that. And it's not really their fault. They had always wanted to do good, but were so good at, killing that that's what they were used for.
But I watched them kill Ghost, his previous life. I don't.
It's not their fault. They didn't want to do it. Did you see how they acted after that? They were following orders and were, as always, determined to do what felt right, even if it was wrong. That's why Nuriel is the virtue of determination. And for better or worse, they've been that way their whole life, but even before they were a virtue, they've been determined, driven, passionate. And I just ask that you're not too harsh on them. I realize what's been done, but it's been done a long time ago, and before they were even conscious of it. The form Nuriel, I guess the existence of Nuriel happened just before they met you, all of you guys. They were known as they were known by another name before. I believe Lark was their name before. And yeah, they were just an assassin.
I don't even know what to think. I don't know.
I know it's difficult. Um, yeah, I just ask that you take care of them for the most part, because as much as they may seem intimidating and prepared for anything, they're not. And just like you, they are cursed as well as blessed. And there's a lot of hardship ahead of both of you. And I just hope that you can still trust me too, Azura. I realize what I put you through and what is yet to come, and I understand if you have doubts. And
more than doubts.
I want you to know that I am so proud of you. No, I realize that probably doesn't. You probably don't care.
I don't even know what to think. I don't know what to believe right now or anything.
Yeah. Well, I'll get you both back to the ship. I imagine you have a lot to discuss. Um, and Nuriel turns to you and says, what was that? What was I watching, Azura? That looked like Ghost then, didn't it? But he's alive now, right? I mean,
yeah.
I I remember that other person was talking to, but I don't know who that was talking to them. I'm a bit confused.
Me too.
And then you feel both of you start sinking back towards the ship and through the void. And Nuriel still kind of turns to you after this and asks, like, what exactly was that? I was told Seven just said that I needed to see it, and I don't know exactly what I saw. And you seemed, I don't know, you went kind of pale after that.
But that was your past.
That was my past. I recognize the person that was in the throne, but I don't. What part? Which was me?
Trying to think, because I know. Sorry, I'm getting out of character.
You're good. You're good.
Because Ghost and I talked about how much Azura would know about his past, and I'm trying to remember if he told Azura how he died or not.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot! I
We
didn't
talked
realize.
about that Azura knows about Nexus, and Azura knows that like he had a past life, but she doesn't know everything. Like she doesn't know that Nexus was a kind of a bad person. She just knows like
Right.
that's who Ghost was.
Right. Okay.
So I don't think he told her how she died or how he died.
Okay. I mean,
He
you
just
kind of
told
know
her the
now.
visions he's had.
Oh.
I think. I'm trying to remember because we talked about it after last session.
It would just be like how much you've told each other in character, basically, or like that is assumed.
Yeah, and I think he said that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's. I know all the visions, but I don't know exactly how he died.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure I think he just died to the other thing that he fought.
Right.
In the.
Oh, that's what Azura assumed then.
Yeah, that's what Azura assumed from what Ghost told her.
Gotcha.
I'm just trying to think of what to say next.
Yeah.
Base it off of that.
I know it's kind of a lot.
Yeah. Nuriel, I don't really know what else to tell you. That
So, but
I'm just
who was me in that? You said it was my past. Which one was me?
didn't recognize yourself.
No, I didn't. Was I the assassin? Are you saying I killed Ghost?
Yeah, yeah.
That's awful. I would never do that. I Oh no. Oh God. And you see them start to break down. And you see at this point they realize all that they had done. And Nuriel just goes silent and is just quietly crying, kind of on their knees at this point. Sir, I'm so sorry. It's it's coming back to me now. I went by the name Lark Terramin, and I was a killer, and that's all I was. That was so long ago. I didn't even know I'd been alive this long. God, I we'll have to tell Ghost at some point, won't we?
Yeah. I I'm sorry, Nuriel, but I don't at this moment I don't know who I can trust, and I don't know if I can trust you.
Why? I I this that wasn't me. I mean, it was me, but I didn't know what I was doing half the time. I mean, I realize it now, but God, my my memories and thoughts are just so broken right now.
So am mine. I just I so much to process, and I don't really know. I don't even know if what we're doing right now is. I don't even know anything really. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I can trust three. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this seven character. Just a skeleton says that they're trying to stop Torin. I don't. Why me? Why has any of this happened to me specifically?
I keep asking myself the same thing. I I thought being a virtue would be a good thing, but
And they keep saying that, a virtue. What does that mean exactly? Does it mean they said I'm the virtue of determination? I get that. But is that a virtue I have to keep exhibiting in order to stay that way? I don't know.
I don't even know if I want to follow my virtue anymore because I don't.
Because you can't. There's no way for us to know whether to
Confused.
trust them or not. I, I'm sorry it's happened to you too. And I imagine we're not the last because there's seven of them, right? There's seven pillars.
Yeah, I
So five other unlucky souls get to be burdened with this. Gosh. And as you're standing there, you feel something different. You feel a pull kind of at your psyche, and it feels like dread, like complete and utter panic and dread. And then you're standing in front of an Asuerus in the altar plane.
oh, just left the ship again.
Yep.
Do I have any weapons on me that I can like reach for?
You have pretty much everything. Yeah, you got it all.
I'm gonna reach for one of my daggers and basically just pull it out and like point it at the Assuerus.
Okay,
What do you want?
calm down, sir. Look, I'm not here to hurt you. In fact, just the opposite.
Can't believe that for a minute.
And you have good reason. You have good reason. Look, I work with Torin, and I want to help you. I want to help you become vengeance. I want to help you kill Torin.
Why would you want to turn against him?
I want you to be the strongest that you can be. And if it involves killing him or attempting killing him, then that's great. You would become a sin. Vengeance. You heard him say it, didn't you? That he wanted you to be vengeance?
I did.
Imagine the look on his face when you strike him down with the very knowledge he's provided you. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that sound amazing?
It would, but I still don't know if I can trust you.
You don't need to trust me. Hell, kill me now. I don't care. There's so many of us. I can't wait. There's so many. If you killed me now, it would not matter. There'd be another one here immediately to take my place. So you don't have to trust me. All I'm saying is you'd make a much better vengeance than you would compassion. And then you're standing back aboard the ship. And Nuriel looks super, like, freaked out, too. Like, they possibly just went through something similar. Did that happen to you, too, Zara?
It did.
Obviously we're not going to go with that, right?
I don't know.
Nah, I think I'm good. I don't like whatever that was. I God. I wish our lives weren't so complex in this way.
Me too. Fine. Me too.
And then you basically just drive the ship home. And yeah, I think that is where we're going to end the session. I know that was a little bit of a quick one.
Yeah.
It's about as long as mine. Maybe a little shorter.
What's that?
Yeah.
It's about as long as mine and be a little shorter.
Yeah, it's like just under 50 minutes. There's a lot to think on, though.
Yeah, and I didn't really know what to say because at this point, I think the only people Azura would willingly like talk to about it would be Lawrence, Darren, Ghost.
Right.